So to add graphics, we're going to click on the Photos folder, and we're going to add a new layer. So I'm just going to click here to add a new layer, and I'm going to rename it Stars. In the timeline, we're going to move this timeline over to frame 36, and we're going to select that frame, and we're going to insert a keyframe. Right click, insert keyframe. So in the Tools panel, over here is where the rectangle tool is. We want to select the Polystar tool is the one that we're selecting. In the Properties panel, on the stroke, we want to click that, and we want to select the red line, which means there is no stroke. We're going to click on the fill. You can put whatever color you want. I'm going to make it this yellow. You can choose whatever you want. Then down here where it says polygon, we're going to click there, and we're going to change that to star. The number of sides should be 5, and the star point size should be 0.5. Make sure that your empty keyframe is on 36, and then we're just going to click here and we're going to drag. You can put as many in here. You can see how easy it is to rotate them. You can make them small, you can make them large, however you want to do it. It's your project. Do like you want to. We're going to exit the polygon tool by clicking the selection button. Now if you want to move one of those around, you can just click on it and click and drag wherever you want to. And that's how we'll do the stars. We're now going to add layer effects to a keyframe. So move the playhead to frame 12. And we're going to select frame 12 in both the photo 1 layer and the background. We can do that by clicking one of them and then holding down the shift key, and you can see that that's selected both of those. And with those two keyframes still selected, we're going to add a filter button in the properties. So up here in properties, you can see filters. You can see that there are no filters added. So I'm going to click the plus here to add a filter. We're going to select blur. We want a blur filter. We're going to increase the blur X and the blur Y to 4. From 4 to 8. Both of those need to be 8. And you can see that the background photo and that first photo now are blurry. If you'll also notice on the timeline, these turn white, which lets you know that there's a layer effect applied. So next we're going to select frame 24 in the photo 2 layer. So photo 2 layer, we're going to select frame 24, and we're going to insert a keyframe there. I can click right here to insert a keyframe, and we're going to change this to the same thing. We're going to add a blur. We're going to change it to 8 and 8. And so now you can see that that photo appears blurry. And then we're going to select frame 36 and the photo 1, 2, and 3 and background. So you can hold down the shift and you can see that all of those it's selected. Once those 3 are selected, in the color effects, we're going to click here and change the brightness, and we're going to make that a minus. Let's go to minus 36. So we've changed that brightness a little bit. You can see the selected layers were a little bit darker at that point. So now let's save what we've done. You can see that there's a little asterisk after this. So let's click File and then Save. So let's test our movie. So click up here and you can see that it exports, and you can see that our movie plays and it does like it's supposed to. You see there's a blur after each of those, and this looks like the one that we had at the beginning. So we can close this. So make sure you did save what we did, and there may be times where you may say we want to resize this, we want a different, for whatever reason we wanted a different size. So in the document settings, or in the properties, click on document, and then where you've got document settings, click more settings, and we're going to make a change. We're going to take here, we're going to make this 400, and we're going to make this 300. If you click the button between those, it's going to constrain the proportions of the stage. It'll automatically change proportionally if you have that selected. On the scale, we want to check the box that says scale content and then click OK, and you can see that it kept everything the same, it just made it smaller. So I want you to click File, Save As, and on the working copy we're just going to add underscore resized, and we're still going to save it as FLA and put it in your lesson 1 folder and click Save. And so you now have two different things that you've done. You have the regular one and you have it smaller, and this concludes lesson 1 for Adobe Animate.